Okay. Good afternoon all, and welcome to the opening press conference of the Nile Conference group phase of the 2023 Basketball Africa League season. My name is Edwin Eselem, PR and Communications Lead for the BAL, and I'll be your MC today. Without further ado, please allow me to introduce NBA Africa Vice President and Country Head for Egypt, Mohamed Abdel Mottalab Soliman, to welcome us all to Cairo. Good afternoon, Toba.
Good afternoon, Edwin. Thank you. السلام عليكم. الأول مساء الخير. أهلا بيكم كلكم. شكرا على حضوركم. يعني I want to الأول هتكلم كده بالإنجليش بس أرحب بالضيوف وبعدين هقلب عربي. I want to recognize our guest here. First, Basketball Africa League President, my colleague and my friend Amadou Gallo-Fall. FIBA Africa Vice President and Head of Zone 5, my friend Shamil Hariri. President and my friend, my brother, President of Egyptian Basketball Federation, Dr. Magdi Boufreikha. I want to welcome you all to Cairo, the host of Nile Conference, Basketball Africa League Season 3. هقلب بالعربي بقى. اهلا وسهلا بحضراتكم. طبعا انا عايز اشكر امادو على قرار BAL بتواجد السيزون الثالث لبطوله انديه افريقيا، المرحله او النيل كونفرنس، انه يتلعب هنا في مصر. حاجه مهمه جدا بالنسبه لنا بعد افتتاح مكتب NBA Egypt، مكتب القاهره. احنا موجودين على الخريطه. ده بيدل على اهتمام NBA واهتمام الباسكتبول افريكا ليج، كرة السلة الافريقية، اهتمامها بمصر. احنا كمصر عندنا في طموح، في امكانيات موجودة، اذا كان ملاعب، اذا كان افراد، اذا كان لاعبين، اذا كان نظام. اعتقد ان دي اشارة مهمة جدا وخطوة مهمة جدا بتدل على اهمية اللعبة وممكن او امكانية نموها وانتشارها في مصر. أنا عايز أشكر كل أعضاء أو فرق الإعلام والصحافة والميديا اللي متواجدين النهاردة. عايز أشكركم. عايز أطلب منكم حاجة مهمة جدا، إن إحنا تواجد الجمهور في الصالة مهم جدا بالنسبة لنا. دليل على اهتمام الدولة واهتمام الأندية واهتمام الشعب واهتمام الناس، اهتمام الجمهور باللعبة. أتمنى تواجد الجمهور بصورة أكتر من كده. عايز انوه لان معالي الوزير الدكتور اشرف صبحي للاسف لظروف خارجه عن ارادته غير متواجد معانا، لكن هو بعت لنا كلمه حوالي 3 دقائق بيرحب فيها بالBAL وبNBA ايجيبت NBA افريكا. الكلمه دي هنوزعها على حضراتكم دلوقتي، وكمان هنقولها بكره قبل مباراه الافتتاح. يعني اماما ان الدوله مهتمه باللعبه واهتمه بتدعيم وجود NBA وBAL في القاهرة. فإن شاء الله بكرة يكون مباراة الافتتاح الساعة 6. نتمنى وجود أكبر عدد ممكن من الجمهور. أتمنى إن حضراتكم برضو تكونوا متابعين ومستمرين في المتابعة، لأن البطولة مهمة جدا بالنسبة لمصر. أخيرا أشكركم جميعا. كل سنة وانتم طيبين. أسفين يعني نزلناكم آخر يوم أجازة، بس كل سنة وانتم طيبين. With that, I will turn over the speech to Basketball Africa League President, Mr. Amadou. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Tolba. Good afternoon, everyone. And it's great to be back in Cairo. We are incredibly excited to tip off our Nile Conference group phase tomorrow. For the 3rd season of our Basketball Africa League. I would like to thank you all for coming, and I would also like to thank all our partners and acknowledge our good friend Dr. Magdi Boufreikha, President of the Egyptian Basketball Federation, and our partners at FIBA, represented here by our brother Hisham El Hariri, who is the President of FIBA Zone 5, our foundational partners, Nike, Brand Jordan, Wilson, the Rwanda Development Board, and also New Fortress Energy. And we also want to thank our associate partners, namely Envol City, Hennessy. As we tip off our Nile Conference games here tomorrow at the Hassan Mustafa Arena, when Al Ahly, our local club, first-time participant in the BAL, will tip off against Club Ferroviario de Beira from Mozambique. And I wanted to reflect just on what an incredible start to the BAL Season 3 in Dakar. If you followed the Sahara Conference game, one of our main objectives coming into this season, as we kind of left the pandemic behind us, was to get more fans in the arena to experience up close and personal the world-class basketball and entertainment product we are in the process of building. We were very pleased to have over 30,000 fans over the course of 8 game days. The competition on the court was incredible. 5 teams finished with the exact same record of 3-2. We had to resort to point differential to separate the teams, and the rankings came out. Stade Malien finished first, then AS Douane, then the Rwanda Energy Group, and Abidjan Basketball Club. I'm very certain that we are going to carry that momentum through the Nile Conference here. Just yesterday, as we hosted all the teams for our team welcome reception, talking to some of the coaches, they're very excited, and they think that actually the games are even going to be better here. So I'm excited to watch alongside Al Ahly and Ferroviario, the City Oilers. That is the first time participant in the BAL. They're coming from Kampala, Uganda, and last year's Petro Atletico from Rwanda, from Angola, the runner-up. They're coming back also for the 3rd consecutive season. This is the only team that, for the Nile Conference, have participated in every single season of the BAL. The Cape Town Tigers are coming back for the 2nd year in a row. Also, they have big ambitions, and the Seydou Legacy Athletic Club from Guinea, they're also participating for the 2nd time. All these teams are, coming here with big ambitions, and they all think they have a chance, and the top 4 out of the 6 teams here will qualify for the finals and playoffs in Kigali, May 20th to May 27th. They will join those 4 clubs that I talked about that came out of the Sahara Conference in AS Douane, the Rwanda Energy Group, Abidjan Basketball Club, and the Stade Malien from Mali. Tickets are on sale, and fans can get their tickets at bal.nba.com, and also at various retail activations throughout the city, encouraging all existing and new fans to come see the excitement of this product, encouraging in the arena on top of some great basketball, as that is the core product we continue to look to develop, and we are very, very pleased with the momentum we are continuing to build. When you look at numbers in terms of how fans are engaged with our product, we see market increase in terms of impressions, and thanks to you guys, the media, that continue to come in big numbers. Edwin was just telling me we have another record here from 60 credentialed media last year to 105 today, so we can never thank you enough for your contribution to what we're looking to build here. For fans who cannot get to the arena, the games are going to once again be broadcasted in over 214 countries and in 17 languages. Here in Egypt, the games will be available on Time Sports, as well as streaming on NBA.com and the NBA app, and bal.nba.com across Africa, Canal Plus, ESPN, and a host of other free-to-air broadcasters. And Voice of America also will be carrying our games, and so access once again is going to be bigger than in previous years. Finally, I again just never could thank the media enough as we look to build the BAL into the world-class professional basketball league. We remain committed to using the Basketball Africa League as a platform to push this economic growth engine that is going to inspire and empower and connect youth and also fans of all ages and showcase the potential and capacity for Africa to be a global leader in the sports and entertainment stage. Thank you very much.
في البداية أحب أشكر الشركاء بتوعنا اللي ساهموا في إن احنا نعرف ننظم البطولة دي في القاهرة. احنا كان هدفنا بعد جائحة كورونا ان احنا نشد معجبين اكتر للرياضة، ونجحنا بكده بدليل ان دوري الصحراء كان فيه 30,000 مشجع على مدار 8 أيام للمباريات، وكانت مباريات محمسة جدا. والفرق كلها اللي هتشارك في دوري النيل هنا اللي هيتلعب في مصر للمرة الثانية كلهم داخلين بنفس الطموح ان هم عايزين يتأهلوا للمرحلة النهائية في كيجالي. واحب اشكر الميديا على ان هم ساعدونا ان احنا نكسر الرقم القياسي من السنه اللي فاتت من 60 ريبريزنتيف للميديا، لان السنه دي يبقوا 105. احب اشكركم جدا، والمباريات هتبقى متذاعه على 214 دوله ب 17 لغه مختلفه ما بين اون تايم سبورت هنا في مصر وإي اس بي ان وامريكا ناو في امريكا. ده غير ان هي هتبقى مذاعه على ال NBA اب وال BAL ويب سايت.
Thank you very much, Amadou. And now I'd like to introduce FIBA Africa Vice President Esham El Hariri for his remarks.
Assalamu alaikum. Good afternoon, Mr. Amadou Fall, President of BAL, Mr. Dr. Magdi Ofrekha, President of Egyptian Basketball Federation, ladies and gentlemen. On behalf of FIBA Africa President Hannibal Manaf, I welcome you and welcome media and press teams to Nile Conference in BL 23. BL is one of the partnership between FIBA and NBA, and we did two very great seasons in 21 and 22, very successful. But we are looking forward with our partners to more success in 23. I would like to tell you that Nile Conference 23, it will be different than 22. We have 6 teams, as Mr. Amadou said. We have 2 teams. First time will play in BL, Al-Ahli Club, after Zamalek for 2 years. Ahli Club is one of the most popular teams in Egypt. City Oilers from Uganda, first time to be here for BL. And another 2 teams, Slack and Febrero do Beira from Mozambique. They played in Sahara Conference, so it's the first time for them to play in Nile Conference. For it's very good for fans to see new teams here, 4 teams, and also we have Petro Atletico, the runner-up from last year, and Tigers from South Africa, who was the first one in the road to BL. So we are looking forward to have very exciting games to follow with the fans here and with the media and the press teams in Nile Conference, and all of them are come to go to the final in Kigali, in Rwanda, as we will have only 8 teams in the final, 4 from Sahara City and 4 from the Nile. So the competition here will be very, very difficult for them. It will be very good competition for our leagues for the 3rd year BL to be played in Africa. Finally, I would like to thank all of you for your interest and for your attendance the press conference. Thank you, and thank you for all teams. Thank you.
في البداية بالنيابة عن رئيس الفيبا أحب أرحب بالفرق الصحفية الموجودة معنا النهاردة، وأحب أشكرهم على اهتمامهم باللعبة وبالبطولة. عندنا السنة دي الأهلي وسيتي أويلرز فرقتين أول مرة يلعبوا في الBAL. الأهلي أحد أكثر الأندية شعبية في مصر بعد الزمالك. الفرق كلها جايين هنا مؤتمر النيل عشان عايزين يتأهلوا للنهائي في كيجالي، واحنا واثقين ان هي هتبقى مباريات صعبة ومباريات ممتعة جدا، وان شاء الله البطولة تبقى كويسة وتستمتعوا معانا.
شكرا.
Thank you, Vice President Hisham. We'll now open the floor to questions from the media. Once called upon, please state your name, your affiliation, and to whom your question is directed to. So we have 2 microphones in the room. You state your name, your affiliation, and to whom your question is directed to. So now the traditional question and answer session is open.
Hi, George from the BAL website. Question for Amadou. Could you just shed a little bit of light on the situation with fans? You know, we have Egypt has some history with fans attending games, basketball games specifically. Can you just say, will there be any specific plan for this Nile Conference, or will it just be open doors for anyone wanting to attend the games?
Thank you, Julio. We do have plans that have been underway actually for several months now, working with the Egyptian Basketball Federation. The good news is since we last played here, now the NBA has a physical office here with our colleague Tolba, who is the head of NBA Egypt, and Yasmina, our colleague, and building a team. And I think we know the market, you know, better. We had some sense of what the market was, because before Tolba joined as head of NBA Egypt, he was also vice president and CEO at the Egyptian Basketball Federation. So we are relying on the local expertise to make sure that the momentum we had in Senegal in terms of getting fans in the building, you know, to enjoy the competition is carried through. So yes, we'll have fans in the building. You know, I don't know if you've had a chance to see it. This is incredibly, you know, well dressed up, and I'm pretty sure that the atmosphere there is going to be very lively on tomorrow, 6 p.m. When Al Ahly tips off against Ferroviario.
السؤال لأستاذ أمادو، هل في خطة معينة للتعامل مع الجماهير المصرية، مع العلم أن الجماهير المصرية من الجماهير الأكثر حماسا للعبة الباسكتبول؟ الإجابة كانت أن في خطة موضوعة مع NBA Egypt، وأن هيبقى في اعتماد كبير على الخبرة المحلية للتنظيم، وإحنا هنحاول أن إحنا نكمل الزخم اللي إحنا عملناه في السنغال لهنا عشان نعرف ندخل جماهير كتير وتبقى بطولة ناجحة إن شاء الله.
Question.
Good afternoon. First of all, congratulations, President Gallo, on setting an interesting and electrifying atmosphere here in Egypt for the Nile Conference. Tito Valerie, Afrobeat TV, Cameroon. I want you to talk a little bit on the contribution of the BAL to the level of African basketball. We have seen how the NBA has developed and has strengthened, you know, the dream team, and we've always seen how those leagues contribute to making interesting super teams when it comes to national teams. And we've always had this problem in Africa. We see how we perform at international levels, and the BAL has obviously stepped up the game. Tell us a little bit about what this contribution is. We talked a lot in Dakar about the level of play in the BAL. Tell us a little bit what your vision is and what NBA Africa is doing to step up and to increase the level of national teams on the continent, especially players who are playing at this BAL event.
Thank you. Just to remind us that the BAL is the culmination of many decades of work, you know, starting at grassroots level. We've always partnered with FIBA through our flagship grassroots basketball development and community development program, Basketball Without Borders. We're pleased to see across the BAL many players who've attended these camps over the years from different countries. I think here we are at 19 former BWB campers for the Nile Conference. We had similar numbers for for the Sahara Conference. The BAL is intended to lift up the entire basketball ecosystem. We're going to, influence the development and the excitement of local basketball leagues. You have, for example, here in Egypt, big rivalries, whether Al Ahly plays Zamalek or Ittihad or Smuha. There is a long tradition of club basketball here in Tunisia, in Angola. We want to see that across Africa, because the stronger these national leagues, the stronger our league, the Basketball Africa League, which is a Champions League, will be. Just anecdotally, last night I was sitting with, I think, one of the staff executives of the City Oilers, and he was talking to my colleague Stephen Angel, who's working closely with our referee operations group, just about the impact they see in refereeing, for example, because we spend a lot of time doing training for these referees. We select a wide group that we work with, through constant seminars. Some of the best referees in the NBA are actually conducting these leadership sessions, just kind of, updating and exchanging with the African referees about where the game is heading. We have, in each game, you will see one referee from the G League refereeing alongside two referees that are selected, across the continent. And the gentleman's comment was like, well, now you can talk to referees, because generally it's a very adversarial, almost looks like an adversarial relationship where, look, I played here, so I know the referee, you don't talk to them. But, if we're going to get to where we need to get to, there's a space for being, definitely very focused and stern about the rules, but also there's space for interaction, responding to players' questions, and also the players' attitude towards referees need to change. We're going to elevate, when I talk about the entire ecosystem, we want to make sure that referees become respected, but also referees understand that they have a very critical part to play in promoting the sport, in marketing it, and not just blowing whistles or just playing referees. This is a small example. When an the elite talent from Africa to decide to stay on the continent if all the conditions are met. So this is why, for us, that's where the battle is. How do we continue to elevate the entire ecosystem to influence national teams, and when they go out to compete in the Olympics or World Championship, our teams are going to start having legitimate chances of winning medals.
Thank you, President.
السؤال مستر أمادو، شايف ايه دور البال في ان هو يرفع من مستوى المنتخبات الوطنية للقارة الأفريقية، عشان احنا بنشوف ان المنتخبات بتطلع البطولات الدولية ما بتأديش بنفس الأداء القوي اللي ممكن نشوفه من الدوريات المحلية اللي بتتلعب في أفريقيا؟ الإجابة كانت إن البال هي حصيلة عمل كتير قوي من العقد اللي فات، وإن الهدف منها إن هي ترفع من نظام كرة السلة كله في القارة، بداية من الحكام إن هم يحصلوا على الاحترام المستحق ليهم، وإن هم يبقوا عارفين إن هم ليهم دور كبير في اللعبة، لأن اللعيبة المحلية بتاعت الفرق نفسها تكون قوية، فده يرفع من مستوى الدوريات المحلية، وده دليل على وبدليل إن احنا سامحين للفرق كلها ان هي يبقى عندها 4 لعيبه اجانب فقط، والاعتماد بشكل اكبر على اللعيبه المحليه، وكل ده في الاخر هيساهم في ان الدوريات المحليه والفرق الوطنيه للقاره الافريقيه يطلع مستواهم، وما يبقوش محتاجين يستنوا ان الدوريات الاوروبيه او الدوري NBA يخلص عشان يعرفوا يعملوا جلسات تدريبيه كمنتخب.
مساء الخير. شادي نبيل من موقع تتويج نيوز. هو سؤالي هيبقى لمستر هشام، وافضل ان انا اساله بالعربي وبعد كده انت تترجم. هو هيبقى شقين. الجزء الاولاني زي ما احنا عارفين السنه الثالثه الفاينل ستيج بيتلعب في كيجالي في رواندا. هل امتى نقدر نشوف الفاينل يتلعب في مصر او مصر هي اللي تستضيفه؟ ده اول جزء. الجزء الثاني، هل هيكون احنا السيستم شايفينه اللي هو مجموعتين نيل وصحراء وبيبقى الكوارتر فاينل في كيجالي؟ هل في امكانيه نشوف تغيير على نظام المسابقه في السنوات القادمه ولا لا؟
Okay. Translate English.
Question for Mr. Hisham. It's a two-part question. First, this year we see the final stage being played in Kigali. Do you see any possibility of the final stage being played in Egypt at some point? And the second part is, do you think over the course of the next couple of years we can see any change to the format of the group we see now? It's Nile Conference and Sahara Conference and then the final. Do you think that there might be a change to the format in the future?
I'm speaking English and translate. Okay. For first question about can we see the final here in Cairo? We can, but this is depend on some issues. This is depend for the committee of BL. After the BL 23, they have candidates and they will study it and they can choose the best for the basketball in Africa. This is the first. For the second, for the format of the competitions, after the season, the BL committee with President of FIBA and President Amadou make evaluation of the competition, and they see that they can change, they can or not. We can let it like every year, or we must change for increasing some teams, maybe increasing the places we play. This is depend about the evaluation of PL committee between FIBA and NBA.
بالنسبة للجزء الأول من السؤال، فهو طبعا في احتمالية إن القاهرة تستضيف النهائي، بس ده يرجع في الآخر للبال. هم بيعقدوا لجنة بعد البطولة، بيبقى عندهم قائمة من المرشحين بيختاروا منها الأفضل لكرة السلة في أفريقيا. بالنسبة للجزء الثاني من السؤال، نفس لجنة البال بتقعد بعد البطولة بتقيم أداء البطولة في المجمل، وبتدرس مدى احتياج البطولة للتغيير سواء في شكل البطولة أو في زيادة عدد الفرق أو في احتمالية إن هم يلعبوا البطولة في أماكن أكتر. وده في الآخر بيرجع للجنة بعد البطولة لتحديد المسار الأفضل لكرة السلة في أفريقيا.
السؤال لمستر أمادو، هل شايف ان الجمهور السنه دي هيبقى نسبه الحضور اكبر من السنه اللي فاتت، وايه رسالتك للجمهور بشكل عام؟
Question for Mr. Amadou. Do you think this year's attendance of Egyptian fans will surpass last year's attendance? And what message do you have to the Egyptian fans coming to this tournament?
It's always our goal to do better than what we've done. So certainly, we are expecting, to have better attendance. Last year, we also had the challenge of playing our games in the middle of Ramadan. I think we were very conscious about, really, as Mr. Hashim said, at the end of every season, we sit back and evaluate and think about what we've done right, what we've done well, and also what we think are areas of opportunity. So yes, we decided not to play during the month of Ramadan in Egypt, and I think getting our games, at times that are more, suitable for people to access, especially young people, because we're really building a brand that speaks to the youth. We want to make sure that young people have access to the game, so we're working with different community organizations, working with the federations, the basketball schools, to make sure that we have fan groups attending, and also our team, Al Ahly Club, with this massive fan base, is going to work with us to make sure that fans have access. My expectation is we're going to have more fans in the building, and also we have almost no restriction now when it comes as far as protocols with COVID. So we are going to work with the Egyptian authorities and whatever the current laws are to allow fans in the building. And the best, I guess for me, argument we have is that there's going to be some incredible basketball in the building.
طبعا احنا عارفين ان السنه اللي فاتت وقت البطوله ما كانش الافضل لانه كان بيتلعب في شهر رمضان، وكنا عارفين كده وكنا بنحاول ان احنا السنه دي ما نلعبوش في شهر رمضان ونعمل المباريات في اوقات احسن للجماهير، بالذات الجماهير الاصغر سنا، عشان نكبر بالقاعده الجماهيريه للعبه. وكنا بننسق مع اكاديميات كره السله في مصر والجهات الامنيه في مصر ان احنا نعرف ندخل اكبر عدد ممكن من الجماهير للمباريات دي. وانا واثق ان البطوله دي هيبقى فيها مباريات كره سله كويسه جدا وهتبقى بطوله شيقه وناجحه ان شاء الله.
Bonsoir tout le monde, Fatima de la 2STV. Ma question, je vais la poser en français. Et quelle est la particularité de cette conférence du nul, et surtout par rapport aux équipes, par rapport à l'organisation? Pourquoi vous avez aussi choisi cette date? Parce qu'on a senti un léger, on a changé la date. Merci.
Right. Her question was, what is specific about the Nile Conference? What are we expecting from the games? From here in Cairo in Egypt with the Nile Conference. So Fatima is from TV, our broadcast partner in Senegal. She obviously attended the Sahara Conference games, and I could see the direction of her question. She asked, that they've noticed that we've changed the dates compared to where we played last year. Je vais répondre en français d'abord rapidement. And then I'll come back to English. Effectivement, on a décalé les dates parce que l'année dernière, nous avions joué ici pendant le mois de Ramadan. Et le challenge avec le Ramadan, c'est que nous étions obligés de programmer les matchs très tard. Je pense que le premier match était à 19h30 et puis le deuxième match se jouait à 23h. Déjà, je pense que c'était un challenge pour avoir du public de manière constante pour tous les matchs. Lorsque l'équipe locale jouait, c'était OK. Et peut-être qu'aussi il y avait une équipe du Soudan du Sud, parce qu'il y a une forte communauté du Soudan du Sud ici. Il y avait un peu plus de public aussi. Alors, cette année, nous avons décidé à la fin de l'année de vraiment mettre tous les moyens pour nous assurer d'avoir du public dans les arénas. On a fini l'année dernière avec un match à guichet fermé à Kigali Arena avec 10 000 spectateurs. Nous avons voulu entrer dans la saison 3 avec ce momentum. C'est ce qui a causé, entraîné la décision de jouer en dehors du Ramadan. Cette conférence, c'est intéressant parce que quand on parle du Sahara ou du Nil, les uns et les autres pensent que leur conférence est plus difficile. Ici, en tout cas, tous les coachs avec qui j'ai parlé, ils pensent que leur conférence est plus difficile parce que, bon, évidemment, si on regarde en termes de constance, ces ligues qui ont l'Égypte, l'Angola, je pense, ont des ligues qui se jouent régulièrement. Petro Atlético de Luanda et je pense un club emblématique comme Al-Ahli, ils sont connus. Bon, même si c'est peut-être avec l'ombrella du football, mais en tout cas en termes de structuration et de niveau d'organisation, c'est des clubs qui sont très connus. Aussi les Cape Town Tigers, une équipe jeune, mais aussi ils sont très actifs, et ils innovent, ils sont dans la promotion de leur club, de leurs joueurs, etc. Alors moi je pense que la compétition va être très engagée, mais au bout du compte, ce que nous recherchons, c'est du très bon basketball, beaucoup de monde dans l'arène et une atmosphère vraiment électrique comme on a vu à Dakar. C'est l'objectif. Just was saying that we, at the end of last year, decided to think about what we could do to really give ourselves the best possible chance to have success. And success for us is really to have an incredible product on the court because of the quality of the competition, the level of talent, but also have fans in the building, and then have an entertainment product that could attract fans of all ages. This is why we decided to play outside of Ramadan, especially to be able to attract, young players who are in basketball schools, rather than playing at 11 at night like we had to do last year to accommodate the people and the day of Ramadan. And then in terms of the conference, for us, we try to create two conferences that are very balanced, where you have competitive balance. Obviously taking into consideration some geography, looking to create rivalries within, these conferences. So this is how we come up with, the teams, and we try to look at where teams, all the countries finish in previous years to kind of have a balance of, as we have some teams they come from countries that have an automatic bid qualification, and others are coming from the qualifiers road to the BAL that our partner FIBA organized. So we're trying to create that balance, and that's what we think we have here. We will have two clubs in Petro Atletico de Luanda and Al Ahly Club that are brand names that are known on the continent, similar to what we had in Senegal when you talk about basketball, having representative from Senegal, representative from Cote d'Ivoire, Nigeria, Mali. You have these regional, friendly rivalries that I'm sure contributed to what we saw in terms of attendance, and also how closely disputed all the games were.
السؤال كان عن ايه التفاصيل الخاصة بالبطولة من حيث التنظيم ومن حيث النتائج المتوقعة من البطولة. الإجابة كانت إن السنة دي مقارنة بالسنة اللي فاتت اختاروا إن هم يلعبوا البطولة بره رمضان عشان يعرفوا يجذبوا جماهير صغيرة، بالذات إن السنة اللي فاتت في رمضان كانوا بيضطروا يلعبوا المباريات الساعة 11 بالليل، وده ما كانش أحسن وقت للجماهير الصغيرة اللي بيلعبوا لسه في أكاديميات كرة السلة إن هم يجوا يتفرجوا. وكانوا بيحاولوا السنة دي على قد ما يقدروا يتخذوا جميع الإجراءات الممكنة إن هم يحشدوا أكبر عدد ممكن من الجماهير. والمتوقع من البطولة دي من مؤتمر النيل هنا في القاهرة ان المباريات هتبقى قوية، خصوصا بوجود فرقتين زي بيترو والأهلي، فرق كبيرة جدا في القارة وفرق عاملين منافسة قوية جدا على المستوى المحلي، وده هيجذب الكثير من الجماهير، وإن شاء الله البطولة تبقى ناجحة وكويسة.
Thank you. So thank you very much, Amadou. Thank you, Vice President Hesham. That concludes the executive portion of the press conference. I would invite BAL President Amadou Gallo-Fall, FIBA Africa Vice President Hesham El Hariri and Head of FIBA Zone 5, the President of the Egyptian Basketball Federation, Dr. Magdi Abu Freka, NBA Africa Senior Vice President, Head of Strategy and Operations, George Land, NBA Africa Vice President and Country Head for Egypt, Mohamed Soliman, and Basketball Africa League Head of League Operations, Robin Bumje, to the mixed zone for the official group photograph for this press conference. While next up we'll have Al Ahly Head Coach Augustin Boch and Captain Sefeldin Said for the pre-game press conference, followed by the open practice that will be open to us, all the press. So I'll invite the press to stay in the room while we welcome Coach Augustin Boch, and our officials, our personalities, our guests will go to the mixed zone for the official photograph. Thank you again.